So good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here at the French Chamber of Commerce in Shanghai. Today, we're really glad to make an event with BearingPoint, who is going to tell us about unified customer experience and management, and also give us some insight about the future of retails in China. I'm very glad to welcome tonight two speakers. So Martin and Fiona over here, are going to make the presentation tonight. Thanks again, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, Alex. First of all, good evening, everyone. Je m'appelle Charles. En fait, ça fait 10 ans, je ne parle plus français. Ouais, mais c'est une bonne opportunité to practice français again. Mix both English and French. Okay. Today I'm very glad to have this opportunity to share the unified customer experience and management topic tonight with you. And in the next 45 minutes, we will organize our keynote in 4 sections. The first section is about BearingPoint, our company. The second is consumer trends in a post-COVID world in mainland China. The third one is key takeaways for you. Last but not least is our BearingPoint offerings. So first of all, I would like to know who did hear BearingPoint before this event. I know, Stefan, yeah, our old friend. Okay, it looks not that many people know BearingPoint before, so please allow me to take some time to introduce our company first. And if you already know, thank you for your patience. Okay, first of all, this gentleman is our BearingPoint Global Chairman and the Managing Partner, Hugh. Actually, BearingPoint today is an independent management and technical consulting firm, which have European roots and a global reach company. Oh, sorry. So here is our history. BearingPoint was born from KPMG consulting business in 1997. And 3 years later, we separated from KPMG and we set up our separate company. It's called KPMG Consulting Company. 1 year later, we went to public on the NASDAQ. And at that time, at the same year, we entered the China market. So until today, we have been in China for 22 years. Then we changed our name from KPMG Consulting to BearingPoint in 2002. Here are our history. In the recent year here, we established our global delivery center in Shanghai in 2019, which is the year we actually just the pandemic started. But at that time, we already, just some months ago, we already set up our GDC in China. 2 years ago, we acquired a company called Yumio. Actually, this company is provide innovation service consulting. So we acquired that because we predict that innovation could be a key engine for the business growth for all the retailers. So we acquired this business and provide the innovation management service to our clients. And we also set up a joint venture with the software company called IFS. IFS is an ERP company, a global ERP company, but unlike SAP serves to middle to large company, but IFS ERP usually serve small to middle-sized companies. Okay, we set up a joint venture. It's called Arkwide, and we provide a IFS ERP solution delivery. Last year, we acquired another firm called iCare. iCare is a company provide sustainability consulting services. Also, here is just a bit cut apart is the Sphere Tech. The Sphere Tech provide technologies around the financial services. Now they are all belong to Bearing Point. Here are the portfolios of our services. The majority, our key focus is on consulting. And under consulting, we have different market segments. We call them industries. We have automotive, banking, chemical, communication, consumer goods, and retail. I'm the leader of this industry in Greater China, and the government, insurance, and utility. To support our project delivery, we have our shared resource pool. We organize our shared resource pool in 5 service lines: people and strategy, customer growth, finance and risk, operation and technology. The second pillar of our portfolio is Bearing Point. We have our SaaS products. Here are some recently hottest SaaS services. First is carbon emission calculator, which is a SaaS product to help our clients to calculate and monitoring their emission during the manufacturing, during the warehousing, during the transportation. And the ETM.next solution, SaaS solution, is for the lease and the rent for the equipment industry. We have this product to serve our client. And the other one's data quality navigator to monitor and control the data quality. The MonSense and the Optics, it's a SaaS product to help our client to manage omni-channel pricing. Okay, it's a SaaS product. And we have other products and services. The third important pillar in Bearing Point Group is the capital service. Actually, we provide the supporting strategy execution through the investment and ventures. And we help our client, give them advisory during the company merge and acquisition. And we can also manage and scaling standalone software businesses. So this is a capital pillar. We have a dedicated company for that called Bearing Point Capital. Last but not least is acquired. We have just I have just introduced. It's the joint IFS ERP. We deliver the ERP, IFS ERP worldwide through acquired company. Bearing Point, we focus on the business consulting, which is linkage the management and the technology. To achieve that, we help our client to develop operational strategy and conceptual design. And also we help our client to develop leading industry processes, also execute the system implementation. To ensure the project success throughout the whole end-to-end project delivery journey, we also provide the project or program management, PMO services, and also change management. This is the service we focus on, our consulting pillar focusing on. Here are some key figures here. Bearing Point have 41 offices in 23 countries. And we gained over 700 million euro through 1,200 projects. And those projects were delivered in 50 different countries. And we also do some projects with NGO. And also we, as of today, we have 21 IP products, which I showed with you. We at Bearing Point have SaaS services. Some figures that we inspire our own people and also our client to reduce the carbon emission. Okay, this is some efforts our company made. This is very important today, not only for us, but also for our client. In the last year, we actually identified more than 200 use cases in our asset funnel, which potentially can be innovated use cases. And within them, we identified 71 use cases with high potential. And we start to develop the assets, 58 assets from those high potential use cases. And 1/3 of our consultants participate into the innovation projects. Today, innovation is very important. Yeah, we have European roots and a global reach. In Asia, we have 3 offices. GDC office in Shanghai, our consulting service in Hong Kong and Singapore. The other dots, light pink, are our alliance partners. Okay, let's pass to the trends. What I would like to share with you, the most recent trends of the Chinese consumer. So the first trend we observe is the consumer spending. On the consumer spending, we notice a big and quick rebound of the Chinese consumer spending just after the reopen. Here is a statistic conducted by the National School of Development, which is a national institute under the Peking University. Okay, they made a survey around the consumer sentiment on December last year. The first chart is about the customer satisfaction in 2022. So from this chart, we can observe that the 3 top consumption category is clothing, home care, and online shopping. It means during the last year, our Chinese consumer are very satisfied with these 3 consumption categories, the top 3. The second is, let's look at these 2 charts. It's about the consumer confidence index. This is a short-term CCI. This one is a middle-term CCI until 2027. Okay, let's look at this first. This bar, this gray bar here, is the offline shopping. And this light blue one is the online shopping. We can see that this is the average. From optimistic to the pessimistic. So we can observe for the offline, the consumer confidence is stay in a neutral, no matter short term or middle term. Okay. However, on the contrast, for the online shopping, it's keep a high confidence for the Chinese consumer. So the third observation is that there's only one category is under the neutral, is the first bar, the tobacco and alcohol. And in the general, you can observe the consumption category, if it's good for health, it's good for living, it's good for people self-development or entertainment, it keep a very optimistic trends, and they feel confident. However, like tobacco and alcohol, to some extent, it's not good for health. There's no good confidence in according to the this survey. Okay, this is the first trend. Of course, there are a lot of annual report of the companies like Hermes and Chanel and other luxury brands. They already have the quarter four result, and we can see that they rebound to a 2 digits growth in mainland China. So I won't talk them too much. The second trend is that omni-channel retail accelerates to the next level. There are 3 major aspects. The first is the consumption upgrade. I believe most of you already heard about that. So the Chinese consumer, they will they prefer spend more money on the products which have better design, better quality, and a better brand. Okay, and comparing with the general goods, they would like to cut some, even they prefer to cut some consumption on the general goods, and purchase a luxury piece. They even like to do that. Okay, this is something we observed from our previous study. The second aspect is the personalized experience. So all the Chinese consumers, they highly expect the brands can give them exclusive products or services. And our brands, most of them have already doing that way. And gradually, the Chinese consumers' expectation for the personalization becomes more and more stronger. And they demand more things from the brand. So for the brand, they have to innovate new services or new products to catering to the Chinese consumer. This is the second aspect, to urge us to accelerate to the next level of retail. The third aspect is the social marketing. In the past 10 years, most of the time, we can observe our brands generate the contents for the brand, for our products. But in the recent 2 years, this situation totally changed. We can see on the internet, most of the contents about our products and the brands and the usage of the experience of around the brand, those content were generated by our user, by our customer. So here is some figures that studied from Morgan Stanley's research. In the last year, on the Chinese social media, for Hermes, the user-generated content, there are over 1.4 million posts generated by the user. Chanel, 1.2 million posts generated by the user. I think these numbers are totally surpass the numbers, the content generated by the brand itself. And also here is an important reference is an average Chinese consumer spends 2.5 hours per day on social media, and which is nearly around half of their average leisure time every day. And they use this time to share luxury shopping experience in their personal network, which means the private sphere becomes a very important area. Every brand must to invest and cultivate the relationship with our client. Trend 3, rebalancing of the domestic and international spending. Due to the travel restriction, the Chinese consumer can't travel again from 2019 to the December of last year. Okay. So a lot of Chinese consumer, they spend originally they want to spend overseas, but they spend in China. They have to spend in China because they can't travel anymore. But today and in the next year, this situation totally changed. So we combined the historical transaction and some status numbers together, and we forecast for the Chinese outbound travel spending will reach $290 billion in 2024. And according to the data before 2019, I mean before the pandemic, 70% of the Chinese traveler, they purchase luxury overseas. We estimate in 2024, this number not reach, not go back to rebound to 70%. It could be very close to 50%. In this case, we estimate the Chinese spending on luxury overseas will become $39 billion in 2022. So for the brands in China, how can we retain those customer to spend still in China to help us to grow the business? Maybe these 4 clues can help you. The first is provide easier communication, because Chinese consumer, they speak Chinese, they want Chinese sales advisor to give them the sales suggestion during the purchase. So this could is our advantage. The second is create better shopping experience. So the shopping experience in mainland China is fast, easier, comfort, and very digitalized, comparing with overseas shopping journey. The third one is keeping narrowing cross-border price difference. This is always the key reason why Chinese consumer purchase luxury goods overseas. I have heard there are some brands in US market, they sell a price half of the price than the price in China. If we can narrow down the difference of the price, we can better retain our client. The last one is launch dedicated product exclusive collection in mainland China. There is a survey, 63% of Chinese consumer, they prefer luxury brands that launch exclusive collection in China, and they will purchase it. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but for the local, I think for every gem in the China market, they have their target. They need to achieve it. They need to retain the consumer, Chinese consumer spend money in mainland China to help them grow their business. I think the best strategy is to grow the whole luxury market bigger and bigger, not shift the spending from China to global. They need to make the bigger case for the market. Then for the brand global strategy, they can gain more money. Yeah. If according to your strategy, if you pick the money from this pocket to put into another pocket, it doesn't make any sense for the brand to grow the business globally, right? Yeah, maybe it's a global pricing strategy. It could be. It could be. So there are a lot of ideas can help to balance them. Yeah, for example, yeah. Yeah, could be. Yeah. The trend 4 is increasing attractiveness of Chinese domestic brand. It means the local brand today are more attractive. Here are the two numbers. In 2016, only 25% of Chinese consumers prefer the local brands, purchase the local brands. At that time, 75% local consumers prefer to purchase international brands in China. However, in 2 years ago, this number is already totally changed. You can see 50%, more than half of the local consumer, they would like to purchase local brands. And here are the breakdown by the different consumption categories. So the top 3 is food, dairy, and beverage household products. The Chinese consumer more prefer to purchase local brands. Still for shoes, bags, accessories, and home appliance, I think the international brands still have some advantage. They still more than around 20% of Chinese consumer prefer to purchase global brand. Yeah. Yeah, prefer. No, not because they have to. Just their personal preferences. And here there's a neutral. Okay. Yeah, mixed. Yeah. So we just break down by the different consumption category. We not separate by the online offline. Okay. No, this is general, not only for luxury, for the whole retail. Okay. What I foresee is that these trends will keep growing in the next decade. It will very rarely to rebalance from my point of view. So international brands will meet a very fierce competition with the local brands in the next decade. More and more fierce competition. Trend 5, stay-at-home economic experience. This is totally grow from the lockdown period. And it has formed into a trend. More than 80% consumer have stay-at-home economic, and 1/3 of them have regularly spent more than 3 times purchase online at home. And there are 2 scenarios which these scenarios are emerging recently, and this market we foresee it will these 2 markets will grow very quickly and very large. The first is live streaming shopping. By today, already 900 million Chinese consumers have such experience, shopping experience through the live streaming. The second one is instant retail. Instant retail is a new business model, which born maybe just 1 or 2 years, which means this is online shopping, but the delivery is within 1 hour. Yeah, I know some previously we order our meals right? We order our meals and they deliver within 1 hour. We have such experience, but this kind of business model already extends to some of famous brands in China. I heard one case is Uniqlo. Uniqlo has make a 1 hour delivery. This is a new kind of instant retail. If you place order online, then they will deliver the shirt, the jacket to your home in 1 hour. And also Tmall supermarket. Previously, we know have half-day delivery, but just 1 or 2 months ago, they create this instant retail model, deliver in 1 hour. Okay, it's like a supermarket. And the people who have instant retail experience, the number already reached 7.5 million. Yeah, I think it is 750 million consumers have such instant retail experience in China last year. Yeah, that's all the trends we observed. In the next part, I will invite my colleague, Fiona, to share with you how we should do and what we should do to catering those consumer trends. Thank you. Yeah. Stay-at-home economic. In Chinese is 在家经济，在家经济，宅家经济，宅家经济，宅家经济。大家这个词 ，it's very yeah。外卖，all the retail can be delivered in 1 hour. This is how we define. Sorry. 宅家经济 is more convenient for the consumer. They can purchase at home, and they can gain the product and the service as they will at home. This is how we define stay-at-home economic. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. And this is just a concept, not developed by Bearing Point. It's a concept that developed, I think, by the media, yeah, news media. Everyone call it 宅家经济. Yeah, stay-at-home economic.
I don't think I need that. Okay, so I'll speak louder then. I don't need that. So, for example, instead of going to the gym, I don't need that. Thank you. So,
I see you have the people online, they can hear you.
oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. So, for example, instead of going to the gym, you purchase products that you can use at home for working out. So that is also a new thing from the lockdown. This is my understanding.
So, yeah. What we observed the healthcare category is it grows very fast under the stay-at-home economic experience trends. So a lot of people, they purchase like gym equipment at home and practice yoga, gym at home. And this is also a kind of stay-at-home economic. It's a very broad concept. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Thank you. Next people. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Charles, for sharing the trend. And let me quick go through that. What trend we have still remember? Can we remember the keywords? And we did not see the slide. The first keywords, I think the trend is that the Chinese consumer is rebound. It's a sign, right? It's the first trend. And the second trend that is omni-channel, and experience. The third is that about what? Can you remember the keywords? Anyone? You can just speak loud. What is the third trend keywords? Yeah, rebalance of domestic and international, right? Very good. And I think that we should have interaction, not just we speak in the front of you. That it's inspiration. And what is the fourth? The trend, the keywords. What is? Yeah, yes, very good. And what is the fifth? Yeah. Stay at home, and it's not a localized in China. It's all over the world. So yeah. So now let's come to the next part. Is the takeaway. So the reason why we come here is that we want to know that this trend has made to the brand and what kind of the decision and will inform the strategy we can make. So although that the solution will be unique to each brand, that at least there are 3 ways we can consider because they navigate the current consumer marketplace. And first, we want to share is look for the new value. I think that how we design and give the concept to the new value, and it's the benevolence, see benevolence, and the wisdom, see wisdom. So everyone has a definition. But here, clear, we want to talk about not just virtual reality, but how to improve the physical experience post-pandemic. So let's see that here is that 3 scenarios we put here to show that what kind of impact we can take to inspire, engage, and customers during their whole customer journey. And first is smart fitting room. Just let us recall and memorize that when we go offline to the apparent functional stores, in traditional fitting room, we will take several dozens of trousers by different size and colors into the fitting room. And if the size or the color is not correct or suitable, we will just go out, go in again and again. So what is the experience? Is it efficient or is it convenient? So if the answer is no, that let me give you the scenario of smart fitting room. So what is smart fitting room? We can see on the picture, or if we have the opportunity, we experience offline. So let me give you that we can see that from the picture, there is an interactive screen. And behind the screen, there is an ID sensor. So when the customer go into the fitting room, they can click on the screen to put into the size, the color, the fashion style data. And all the data will be used to recommend the trousers, the size, the preference that is the next step. And the customer in the color or not suitable, then click on the screen, the shop and give him another purchase or style. Just in the fitting room, not need to go in inside again and again. So it's very convenient. And the third is that if the client has decided to purchase, finally, we need to go outside fitting room and to queue a long line, chat, checkout place, counter. And if we this smart fitting room, we can purchase inside it. So this smart fitting room is more personalized because it will oversell opportunities for consumer. Second is that it just, and the third it is privacy and customers to consist and buy more. So here is that here the first scenario, how to consumer to list and buy more. And the second is that the soft boss. So I think that some of you have experienced that just like the Apple Pay. So what is the soft pose, the utility and the value? Just remember that when we are during the holiday peak and the seasonal peak vacation, when we go into the electronic stores or apparel stores, you have to pay a long line waiting in the checkout box counter. And then if the staff assistant see that you are waiting in a long queue and provide the mobile pay, I think in this scenario, you will feel more mobility and convenience instead of waiting for a long line. So in this respect, from the customer side that it time and from the brand side maximize of the consumer of the staff inside the store. And the third is that the in-store checkout. So compared to the traditional checkpoint that we have to scan when we are check out during the place, we need to scan the QR code again and again. But within this smart checkpoint, we can just put all the clothes inside this basket because it is an RFID sensor. And then it's just a one-click payoff. So in this scenario, it is save the consumer's time, and on the other hand, it can prevent the store from damage or loss. So this scenario, what we want to share is the inspiration that how to let customers to consider this and to buy more and to maximize their customer lifetime value, where to achieve the growth for the brand. So, and now let's move on to the second takeaway, that for the brand, they were considered is how to place a premium on standing the customers. So here the keywords is premium. And traditionally, the brand will do the customer journey because the brand just regard the customer as the one-off buyer. But here, we provide the concept of premium is that we not just regard the customer as a one-off buyer. We regard them as the partner and brand ambassador. So how to do the premium as they are our partner, not just customers. And here we provide our GROW methodology. It is a unified customer experience methodology that to combine the business operation model with customer growth. And first is that what is GROW? The G is represent the genuine, because the digitalization is a genuine transformation. And the social media and the live stream, TikTok and Redbook has accelerated this trend. And we have mentioned that user-generated content that is more popular today. So how we use this trend for brand to activate and inspire the customer as their first point, starting point as their customer decision journey has become more and more important. And the second is reactivate. So the brand is very concerned about after post-pandemic, and we have reopened, and there are more and more traffic inline from online to offline. Then how can we reactivate these customers offline? So let me recall that after we hard work, what kind of activity we will do? Except hard work, we will do gamification, sports, and other kind of things that relax ourselves. So here we will provide some concept of gamification. And we know that gamification is a very funny and pleasant way to provide an experiential shopping scenarios. And now we have a new technological digital assets, as we call it, the NFT digital products, that the ownership as the blockchain technology. So what we can do by this technology? I think that this is a very good opportunity for the brand to release or to launch the new product for this specific audience that will play VR or AR, and then get the feedback of their experience. And how about the product preference to redesign our product? So it is kind of C2M, a customer to manufacturer strategy that we can use. So the third is that about the operation. And now we have realized that we are not just to do the public domain traffic. It is more focus will be transferred from public traffic to private sphere. So in China, that we have the very familiar social media like the WeChat. And I think that the clienteling and to put the priority on can be used to transfer from public sphere to offline to public to private sphere, and to integrate the traffic from the brand.com app and marketplace. And firstly, about the WISE, how can we do and deep dive wisely by the private sphere and operation model? As we all know that, and also brand has realized that the first party data is not enough. The customer data or the transaction data. How do we deep dive? So the second party data or the third party data should be utilized and integrated, such as the social data, behavioral data, and preference data. So after we integrate all this data, we should deep dive and translate the customer insight into actionable measures. So here is that the second takeaway is that we should place a premium on understanding our customers. Just the one-off transaction. And next is about, except from the brand perspective and from the customer perspective, how can we do to empower with existing digital assets? So here we will concentrate the co-workers and the business stakeholders. And we have two levels. The first is to drive business insight, and the second is to increase their work efficiency and quality. And when we get feedback from the co-workers from C-level, such as the marketing, sales, and from the sales floor, they were concerned about how to use these technology assets. And they are lack of the use and knowledge to use. And second is that they will say there increased data costs and data errors. So they cannot have a consistent data to drive the business insights. So the opportunities can be take out. So just there is a scenario when during the past Valentine's Day, when the brand has got the customer purchase data of their name, size, preference, style, and what kind of next best offer can we provide to this customer to maximize his or her lifetime value. And this opportunity should be dig out and to deep dive the data. So this kind of capacity and knowledge should be shared to the co-workers and the business stakeholders. So then we will share our offerings and portfolios, how to enable the co-worker and how to business operation with our customer growth strategy, and how to empower the whole value for our brand. So let's move to the offering that we can offer. The first is that the business value. So the business value will be focusing on the strategic design, and the second that all this will be focused on the four main functions of marketing, sales, service, and the people in the 8 domains that is most challenging of the retail. So let's just go one by one. The first is that the business value. And the business value will be focused on the strategic design. And the second is innovation maturity assessment. And the third is the user case will be focused on customer journey management. And the fourth is the business process implementation. And the fifth is organization, digitalization, and data governance. And the sixth is change management. And last but not least, the technology, and not less relevant as data-driven performance management. And before I go to the answer of these offering and portfolios, just let us have the strategic business questions. How do these tools and offerings to help brand to realize their business sales and get what they want to create the customer experience and make the customer as their partners and advocacy? First, that for the business value, just let we think about that. Do we focus the customer as our centralized strategy, or we just let it is the product centralized strategy? So just we think up in mind. Now let's go up into our inspirations to the answer that for this part, we will concentrate on the strategic plan. The second is about the business case and the business plan. So generally speaking, for this part, we will concentrate on to be as analysis and to dig out the quick win and short win for this part. And the second part about innovation. And let me just go through that. What kind of questions we will have? Is your business setup continuously and innovative at scale, or just the question is that do the brand will involve their customers in co-creation or product innovation pipeline development? So we need to have these questions and to give the inspiration to the answer. So we will give our inspiration next is that for innovation part, we will concentrate on the innovation maturity assessment of market, sales, people, and service. And then we will demonstrate each pipeline and provide this assessment and the maturity of the brand. And the third is about the user case. So let us just think about it in our mind that do our customers has a frictionless and a consistent customer journey, or do we really know that the key moment of our customer? So this question is that can our brand recognize the next best offer to our customers? So for this part, we will concentrate to provide the customer journey and the business scenario assessment. So the business journey will be concentrate on deep dive data and to provide the next best offer. And the fourth is about the process. So just let us consider that what is our operation process, and can our process to make the service to our marketing, service, people, and other back of the business function. So here we provide our inspiration is about the omni-channel and the loyalty, the operation process optimization, and RFID and traceability. And RFID technology, we have provided some scenarios. And as for the loyalty, we want to concentrate that the loyalty is not just about points or tier. We should concentrate on the value that behind the just product. And for the luxury brand that although sometimes they have not loyalty, but they will provide some distinctive and exclusive service to this high valued personality and persona. So in this section that we should concentrate on the most valuable customers and how to maximize their lifetime value. And as for the organization and data governance, that as we all know that the China has launched the personal information protection law and how brand to utilize their data under the relevant data privacy regulations, that the first priority should be focused on the data governance and protection. And six is about the change management, that under the digital transformation, we should focus on the role and the responsibility of different departments and to utilize and to dig out the entrepreneurship of our coworker and the stakeholder. And the sixth is about technology-enabled the market automation. So in this part, the focus on how to deliver the best offer or the right offer of the product to our customers at the right time instead of the mass year. So by the market automation, we want to do the pre-marketing. And the last but not least is about analytics. So how to deep dive the data and to dig out the measurable insights and to help our generate the next best offer solution. So here, from data perspective, we should concentrate that the data architecture or the all data sources we can collect. And then we demonstrate the actionable measures to our brand and to provide the right product to our clients and the customer. So here is what our offering and portfolio. So we can just provide some inspiration and want everyone, audience to find the right answer to your brand. So, and the next part is about the Q&A session. And if you have any question, you are free to ask, and the floor is open. Or you can also hear our website for more information.
Okay, don't hesitate to raise your hand if you have any question, and as well for online, don't hesitate to post your question on the chat, and our speakers will answer it here. Any question in the room?
Kick off the discussion over there and to warm up the whole discussion, right? So as we have already discussed a couple of trends, for example, like ultra premium turbocharging, as well as the shifting between domestic brands and international brands. And one general theme we're having is like China is reopening to the world. And then that boils down to more implication about how can we really reboot the customer, for example, new recruitments or even like more sales, more revenue in such a situation, considering like all those trends we just discussed altogether.
Yeah, okay, so first I will give me some inspiration and answer from my perspective. So after COVID-19 that we have reopened, so companies and brands will look for the new value. So we provide as that how to increase their physical experience and during their decision-making journey. And then as we have shared our technologies such as RFID, and we have given some 3 scenarios such as the smart fitting room, soft pose, and in-store self-checkout. And the reason why we share these 3 scenarios is because in this scenario, first, we can let the consumer consider this, because when the consumer consider this, they are willing to buy more because this technology or this shopping experience is more stress-free and more privacy and to respect them. And the third is that it is more convenient. So it is in the whole customer journey that we can do to let them feel that it is more intimacy and humanity.
Another angle is that how to maximize the value of your existing digital assets, especially on the data. So here, with the growth methodology, my colleague has just shared a scenario is that when a consumer purchase on the Valentine's Day, and this we can easily tag it, there is an opportunity on every Valentine's Day, right? But sometimes if we dig into what products or what gift they purchased, we can get more information. Maybe this day is for his partner friend, sometimes a very close friend, a female friend, and sometimes it's for wife, and also sometimes could be for mother, right? So in the whole lifetime value, if we look inside into those data more carefully, we can dig out that the next purchase point could be the Mother's Day in May, and could be the Chinese traditional 7/7 day, right? So this is how we can grow the business, not only rely on the existing knowledge of the data. We can dig out new value along with the consumer lifetime. Okay, if there is an X, we have some existing points, time points, they could be purchased, but there are still a lot of period without any insights. So if we look at into the existing data more carefully, we can eventually dig out new knowledges and new values for this customer along the consumer lifetime journey. So how to achieve that? This is important. My colleague said previously, we have our customer profile and statistic data, female, age, and maybe birthday, like that. But that's not enough. We must consolidate all the behavior data and also the preference data. And sometimes we need deep dive into the transaction, not only the basket value, but also what item they really purchased. So we need to build our private sphere for the brand. Thus, they consolidate all the first party, third party, and the second party data together. Then we can use advanced algorithm to dig out those information and to grow the business, to find the new value, to grow the business. This is from the data perspective. And the unified customer experience. The difference with the traditional user experience is it's totally data driven. We need to define and identify the new measurable KPIs to help us to grow the business. It's not only rely on the traditional KPIs. Okay. Yes.
I have another question. Thanks a lot for the presentation. My question is, we talked a lot about the stay-at-home economy. What is your point of view about the ecology, environmental consideration, and how the stay-at-home economy will develop considering all this environmental, for example, quality? We know the packaging, we know a lot around this. What are the trends?
You're talking about the.
I'm talking about the stay-at-home economy.
Yeah.
In regards to more sustainability and more environmental concerns.
Okay. Yeah. So everyone has the responsibility to keep our living environment very healthy, sustainable. So I think in this delivery industry, they have already they maximize to recycle all the packagings and use to build a new package with the recyclable material. This is the first thing. But from my point of view, of course, this is not the topic of our today unified customer experience. But I think we can help our client to innovate in the material and in the transportation and warehousing to save those wastes and reuse those plastic and carbon, etc. material to maximize the protection of our environment, living environment. This is how we can do. And we do from ourselves. And I think we have a goal, Bearing Point have a goal is by 2025 to reduce 50% of the carbon emission from the worldwide office by using the new green energy and use recyclable materials of our paper and etc. Yeah.
Okay. It's also I'm thinking it's also about the brand impact, because of course it's everyone's responsibility, but I think the change is also more coming from the companies and the brands. They want to show an image of sustainable.
I have a question. You mentioned about third-party data. Which kind of third-party data we can use as a brand, and how to get it? Do you have some examples? How to leverage it and how to unify it with our own first-party data?
Yeah, everyone. I think most of our clients they have their business on the third-party marketplace, right? And sometimes they collaborate with other brand together for the marketing and for the co-branding products, something like that. These data generated from those parties, we call third-party data. And first, we need to get those data into our database. The first thing we should think about how to get those data consistently and the full pack. Okay, and once this challenge is overcome, we need to develop an algorithm.
Which data you're talking about? Because like we're talking about media, you're talking about like demographic data.
Actually, all those data, media data, transactional data, customer behavior data, generated from those third parties, we need to collect as much as possible, consolidate, help us.
Yeah, but they don't want to give it to us, basically.
Yeah. So that's why we need to build our private sphere and consolidate those data, behavior, prioritize the data is behavior data, preference data, and transactional data from the other brand, from other third-party marketplace or the co-brand system. And also, I think just to give you an example from Tmall, usually we can't get the individual data from Tmall anymore, right? So for the brand, we need to create some marketing scenario to convert the Tmall membership to our flagship membership. And through the brand membership, then when they purchase anything, we need to incentive them to purchase at least one thing at the on Tmall flagship store. Then we can get their data. So this is how we convert a third-party client to our brand client. Through that way, we can get their individual data from the third party. This is today due to the PIPL law, there are not very efficient way to get the data, individual data from third party. But however, everyone knows that Tmall they have a business called data banking, right? This is group data, and you can give them your potential client profile, and they will calculate and generate and search in their own basis, but they won't tell you who are they. So we need to use some marketing approach to convert them to your flagship client. And then you get their individual data into your private sphere. This is how we usually suggest our client to do. Once you got those data, then you will know more about your physical client, not only in your .com, in your own channel, but also the third-party channels. Yeah.
Any questions? Okay, well, maybe one last and just to finish.
Okay, question from my side is, let's get back to our topic, unified customer experience and management. So we know it has been for a long time that immersive experience 沉浸式体验, or let's call immersive like gaming or theater, etc. is very popular right now in the mainland China or maybe in the whole Asia. So how we create like the immersive customer experience, like to achieve like the whole unified management, no matter from like first party, second party, or even the like the gentleman mentioned, the third party data. Thanks.
Yeah, a very good question. That is what we want to explain and to give the differentiation. What is between the immersive and engagement? And first, that we will give you a scenario about what is the engagement. For example, if during the Double 11 or the Valentine's Day, we have the consumer data in our data pool, private data pool, then we will send you a message or through the WeChat. Here, it's called, we will notice you that it's near the Valentine's Day. Then we notice you that we have new product launch, and we invite you to come to get offline visit to our stores, and we will give you some coupon or discounts. And that what we call this is engagement. It's not immersive. So what is immersive here? That all of us are very interesting. So based on the database, we have the first part data, the second part data, and the third part data. We have the brand had not only the purchase, the profile, we have the social listening or recommendation engine, or we have the predict modeling that we know that when we know that you have the purchase in the Valentine's Day, then we can recommend that through our algorithm recommendation algorithm and computer statistic model, we will give the next best offer that we will notice you through our storytelling and the personalized offering that to provide that maybe next best offer will be the during the May Day that maybe is your wife or your father or maybe your child's birthday and maybe it is the graduation or the anniversary. So we will know the whole picture of our customers, not just because our product is on the new launch, because our offline store anniversary. So we will more concentrate on customers' interest and preference. So that is the reason why we need to generate not first part data, but also the second and the third. And also that I remember that when that is all the first audience asked the question is about what is the packaging to be more green. So from brand, it is a question from brand perspective. But from the consumer perspective, when we know that the brand use more green packaging of their product, the customer will have a more intimacy and a friendly humanity experience to buy this product because the green is responsibility for all of us. So we are not considered that we need to buy the product, it's cheaper or it gives us more luxury experience. We will consider all the responsibility. So it is the difference between the engagement and the immersive. Thank you.
Yeah, I think this is a very difficult question to be answered. From the innovation perspective, I have some scenario to share with you how to make more immersive experience for your client. Some brands have already created some journey is to invite your consumer to join the designing of the products, right? Some are designed the physical products, some are designed the virtual products. Virtual products is more easier, like NFT. Sometimes I saw that in the US, Adidas already have a portal to ask some, not ask, to sell some NFTs online. Those NFTs product are created by the new designer, young designer. They don't have very solid design experience or solid records of good product, but they create the opportunity for those young designers to create virtual products online. And they test the products through the virtual products and collect the feedback from those, because they sell those virtual products, they collect the feedback from the purchaser. And then they identify which product is more high potential, and then they invest into the development real products. This is the one scenario. The second scenario I see, even in Shanghai, the Nike 001 store, there is you can purchase Nike by you product there, and you can design your own style sneakers in that shop. So this is also how we can create the immersive experience with your client. Just some inspiration from innovation perspective. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you very much for joining tonight. Well, time is up, but can still continue the discussion around a glass of wine for the people who are on site. And thanks again for the people who attended online. Thanks to both speakers for sharing the insight tonight, and wish you all a pleasant evening, and looking forward to see you all to the future event of CCI. Thank you.